Have you ever been to a rural market? You know the scene. It's this incredible explosion of color, sounds, and just energy. You've got farmers with their fresh crops, artisans showing off their work, traders shouting out prices. It honestly looks like beautiful, vibrant chaos. But what if I told you that under all that hustle and bustle, there's a hidden system, a secret order that shapes everything?
And that's really the big question we're tackling today. Is it all just random, or is there a kind of invisible blueprint at work here? We're going to peel back the layers of these amazing marketplaces to see if we can find an organized, predictable structure that's guiding the flow of everything: goods, people, and money.
So, to find this blueprint, we need the right tool for the job. And believe it or not, the key comes from a geographer named Walter Christaller, way back in 1933. He came up with his powerful idea, this theory, that gives us the perfect lens to understand why things are located where they are.
Okay, so what is this thing? It's called central place theory. And at its core, the idea is actually pretty simple but totally brilliant. It says that settlements, towns, cities, markets, they don't just pop up randomly. They naturally organize themselves into a hierarchy, kind of like a pyramid, all based on what they can offer the people living around them.
It all boils down to three really logical steps. 1. People need stuff. Simple enough, right? From everyday groceries to big-ticket items. 2. As a rule, we don't want to go farther than we have to. We'll almost always choose the closest option. And 3. When you multiply that simple behavior by thousands of people, a predictable pattern starts to form. You get this natural hierarchy of markets.
Okay, so theory is one thing, but does it actually hold up in the real world? Well, a team of researchers went to the Uttar Dinajpur district in India to put it to the test. They set out to measure the power of each market, to see if this pyramid-like hierarchy really existed out in the wild.
To do this, they developed something called the Centrality Index. Honestly, just think of it as a power ranking for each market. It's not just about how big it is. It looks at a whole bunch of things. How easy is it to get there? What kind of stuff is for sale? Just veggies or also clothes and livestock? How long does it stay open? All those factors get crunched into a single score that tells you how important that market is to the whole region. And when they calculated that score for 60 different markets, well, the results were incredible. A really clear pattern emerged from the data. That so-called chaos? It wasn't chaos at all. It was a perfectly organized four-tiered system. So let's break it down, starting from the ground up.
Right at the very bottom, at the base of the pyramid, you've got the fourth-order markets.
So, what are these? Well, there are a ton of them, 27 to be exact, which is almost half of all the markets they studied. And they are super specific. They're pretty much only for selling fresh green vegetables. They serve just the handful of villages right next to them, and poof, they're gone in just 2 or 3 hours. They are the definition of a pop-up local market.
Okay, moving one level up the ladder, we find the third-order markets. Now, these 24 markets are a clear step up. They're where you go for your daily necessities, not just vegetables, but also groceries, clothes, maybe some fish. They serve a bigger area, but you're not going to see a lot of traders coming from really far away, mainly because the roads and transport links just aren't there yet. Now we're getting into the big leagues. We're climbing higher to the second-order markets, and this is where things get a lot more specialized. See, there are only 6 of these, which tells you they're a pretty big deal. The game changer here is often livestock. Selling cattle is a major economic activity, and that alone pulls in people from much farther away. Some of these markets even get famous for one specific thing, like the Mohinaganj market, which is the place to go for a special kind of aromatic rice.
And finally, we've reached the summit, the very top of the pyramid. These are the first-order markets, the most powerful economic centers in the entire district.
And get this, there are only 4 of them. These are the apex predators of the market world. They have the highest centrality scores because they do it all. They're not just selling to regular folks, they're huge wholesale centers. Their pull is so strong, they attract people from other districts entirely, and you'll always find them at the easiest to reach spots, like major crossroads. And boom, here it is, the whole system, right there on the map. You can literally see the hierarchy. Each circle is a market, and the bigger the circle, the higher its centrality value, its power. That hidden order we were looking for, well, it's not so hidden anymore. Okay, so this is really cool, right? We found the pattern, but so what? Why does this hidden structure actually matter? What does it do for the people who rely on it every day? Turns out it does, well, pretty much everything. This structure basically makes two vital kinds of trade possible. First, you have what's called horizontal exchange. Just picture that little fourth-tier market. It's a farmer selling her extra tomatoes to her neighbor. It's local, simple, direct. But then you get vertical exchange. And this is where the magic happens. Those same tomatoes might get bought by a small trader, taken to a bigger market, then a bigger one, and finally sold in bulk at a first-order wholesale market ready to be shipped to a big city. It connects the smallest farmer to the wider world.
And this system is a genuine lifeline. I mean, just look at this chart. It shows how much money different sellers make in a day. Zero in on the green bars, the producers. These are your small-scale farmers. A massive number of them are earning between 100 and 500 rupees a day. That might not sound like a lot, but it's crucial cash income that they depend on.
This table paints an even clearer picture of the market ecosystem. You've got the farmers, the producers, making a few hundred rupees selling their surplus. You have service providers, like cobblers or blacksmiths, also earning a steady, important income. And then you have the buying sellers. These are the traders driving that vertical exchange, buying up local goods to sell up the chain. And as you can see, they're earning quite a bit more.
And if you had any doubt that this structure is real, check this out. It's two different ways of looking at the same truth. The map on the left just ranks markets by the number of shops they have. Pretty simple. The one on the right uses that more complex centrality index, but look at them. They tell almost the exact same story. No matter how you slice it, the hierarchy is there.
So you see, these markets are so much more than just a place to shop. They're the real heart of the rural economy and community. They provide essential jobs that help keep people from having to move to the big cities. They're places for socializing, for cultural exchange. They even help spread new ideas and technology from the bigger towns out to the smallest villages. And that really brings us to this powerful thought from the research. It's so easy to look at a small, periodic market and think it's just a relic of the past. But it's not. These markets are the basic building blocks of the entire complex global economy we live in today. They are the first, indispensable link in the chain.
Which leaves us with a huge question to think about. In our modern world of global supply chains and one-click home delivery, what is the future for these ancient, local, and deeply human systems of trade? Their hidden order has made them incredibly resilient for centuries. But what comes next? Well, that's a story that's still being written.